Glad you're watching Newsfeed this third day of February 2023. Good afternoon, I'm Flora Limuki. Let's kick off this live broadcast with this story where former police officer believed to be the mastermind in the murder of lawyer Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda and driver Joseph Mwiruri in 2016. Frederick Leliman has been sentenced to death. Delivering the judgment at the Milimani Law Court, Justice Jesse Lesit noted that Leliman acted contrary to what was expected of him as a police officer. Other former officers Stephen Cheburet, Sylvia Wanjiku and informer Peter Ngugi were each sentenced to 30, 24 and 20 years in prison, respectively on the 3 counts against them. Justice Lesit also asked the prison officers to consider the time the four spent in the custody in pendency of the case in their jail term that will be concurrently. The court noted the confession given by the police informer Peter Ngugi helped authorities to crack the case, even as she gave a window of 14 days to appeal the ruling and conviction. The 3 were found guilty in July 2022 after 6 years of hearings.
Carefully considered the mitigation of each of the accused persons as given orally and in writing, and part of which I have summarized in this ruling. I have also considered the various reports that were filed, the probation reports, medical report, the victim impact reports, as well as the certificates of the various courses undertaken by the accused persons during their incarceration. I have also considered the circumstances of this case, the meticulous planning, implementation, and the brutal execution of the deceased. To say the least, this was a most foul murder, an execution that was most heinous. I find that the most suitable sentence for each of the accused persons is as follows. The first accused is sentenced to death in each of the 3 counts. The death sentence in counts 2 and 3 are held in abeyance. Now, the second accused is sentenced to 30 years imprisonment in each of the 3 counts, with the prison terms running concurrently. The third accused is sentenced to 24 years imprisonment in each of the 3 counts, with the prison terms running concurrently. I also want to inform the accused persons that they have a right of appeal against both the conviction and the sentence, 14 days from today's date.
The Inspector General of Police, Japhet Koome, has clarified on the scaling down of security detail attached to former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Speaking in Mombasa, the IG said that the officers in charge of Uhuru's security have not been withdrawn, and instead structural changes have been effected as required by the law. Koome explained that the commander who leads the security detail of a president is of the rank of an Assistant Inspector General of Police, hence the changes since Uhuru is now a retired president. The IG clarified that further, explained once a president retires, a superintendent of police becomes in charge of the security of a former head of state. Koome also confirmed that the security detail of former First Lady Mama Ngina Kenyatta was intact.
Tuko na policy na simi nilitengeneza, nilipata kwa ofisi inasema ukishatoka kwa ofisi utabaki na askari namba hii. Uko kwa ofisi utakuwa namba hii. Hivyo hivyo hata wale inspector general wamestaafu. Kuna wenzangu wamestaafu. Wawezi kuwa na nambari sawa ya ku provide security kwao kama ile ndiko nayo. Kila mwananchi wa nchi hii anahitaji ulinzi. Hakuna haja mimi nikistaafu niwe na askari 100 kukaa na mimi. Na askari wanahitajika kule wasaidie wananchi. Ndio tuhakikishe kuna utulivu kwa nchi yetu, because no country can develop if there is no security. For socio, economic, political development of any country, we need a secure country.
A farewell caravan of the late Professor George Magoha shall proceed from Lee Funeral Home on the 8th February through some places that defined the former Education Cabinet Secretary's life story. This is according to the spokesperson of the committee planning the funeral, Julius Joan. On Wednesday, the caravan will proceed to the College of Health Sciences in the University of Nairobi, Kenya, and then the Kenya Medical Practitioners Union headquarters, the Nigerian High Commission, St. George's Primary School, the Kenya National Examination Council offices, State House Girls, and finally culminate at the State Sarehe Boys Center, where he studied. The committee has further revealed that a Holy Mass will be conducted at his home in Umuru Nyamininia in Siaya County on the 10th of February. Magoha passed on the 25th of January this year after suffering a cardiac arrest.
I'm going. We are prepared in the blue. It should be borne in mind that in his last tour of duty as Cabinet Secretary for Education, Professor Magoha was always in the midst of children and students. This explains why we are focusing on the schools where he had a major impact on the young people. On February 11, 2023, Professor Magoha's funeral mass will take place at Odera Kang'o University campus in Yala starting at 10 a.m. The family notes with gratitude the immense love for and high regard with which the late Professor Magoha was held by Kenyans from all walks of life.
Elsewhere, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has vowed to crush criminals causing havoc in the Northern Corridor. The CS, who is on a security tour of counties in the north, says it will not be a business as usual for the criminals who he says are responsible for the lack of development in the region.
Nilikuwa hapa mara ya mwisho mwezi wa Julai, wakati siku hiyo tulikuja na rais, siku hiyo akiwa deputy president, na tukaongea. Siku hiyo tulikuwa tunaongea mambo ya kuomba kura, na leo nimerudi kama waziri wa usalama na utawala wa taifa, na mwenye kunituma hapa ni Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto. Mheshimiwa Rais ameniambia nikifika Moyale niwasalamie. Mmepokea salamu ya Rais? Mmepokea salamu ya Rais? Asante sana. Vile vile Mheshimiwa Rais amenituma hapa kwa niaba ya serikali kusema asanteni sana kwa watu ya Moyale kwa kuchagua hii serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, na anawatakia kila laheri, na ameniambia hivi karibuni atapanga safari ya kuja hapa Marsabit ikiwemo Moyale ili mkae pamoja na yeye mueleze mahitaji yenu. Mungetaka rais atembee hapa? Mungetaka rais atembee hapa? Asante sana. Vile vile leo nimepita tu kwa ufupi sana, tumetoka Mandera na Wajia, nikasema nipitie hapa Moyale nikileta hiyo salamu ya rais, na pia kuangalia boda yetu hapa na kusikiza wananchi. Lakini vile vile ningetaka kurudi hapa Marsabit, tukue na muda wa kutosha kuketi pamoja na nyinyi wananchi na viongozi wenu ambao mmechagua, ili tuongee maneno ya hapa Marsabit, vile tunaweza kujenga amani baina ya jamii zetu zote, kujenga nchi yetu na kuleta maendeleo katika sehemu.
Inspector General of Police Japhet Koome now says the government is on top of insecurity issues within pastoralist communities, most often that are not caused by scarcity of water and pasture. This comes at a time when the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has toured Mandera and Wajir counties to enforce government strategies to curb border-related crimes and security threats.
We are seeing many cases, incidents where there is conflict between communities, competing for water and the pasture. Out of that, we have lost some lives because of that confrontation I've talked about. But we're asking our people, please, let's not hurt one another. Let us not harm one another. Life is precious. I'm aware the government is doing everything possible to provide water and food to the places within our country where there is hunger, and water where water is required.
Residents of Murang'a County are calling on the recently launched Water Police Unit to tour their region and help them solve the acute water shortage that they are grappling with as a result of the scorching sun that has dried up rivers in the area. Madiwa constituency residents from over 5 villages have today queued at Karirwara River, which is also on the verge of drying up, in order to go back to home with some water. Like Kangonde, Gasharaga and Gatiki dried up 2 years ago, leaving residents to rely on Dhuru and Karirwara rivers, which are almost drying up, as well as drying up. According to residents, they are forced to get to the river as early as 5 a.m. to fetch water and dries up in the late afternoon. School-going children are also forced to carry water to school for cleaning their classrooms and any other use in school.
Shida yetu ni maji tu peke yake. Mpaka mahali tunaenda kuchota hakuna maji. Hata customer akikuitisha maji, wewe shida yako lazima uende mahali bali sana kumchotea maji. Sasa tunauliza aje? Na kila wakati mwisho wa mwezi unakuja kuangalia mita zao. Lazima standing charge lazima ulipe. Sasa 250 lazima ulipe. Sasa shida yetu tunauliza, unalipa mita kitu yenye ujui?
Kitambo hii mto haukukua unakauka. Mto huu unaitwa Kagode. Haukukua unakauka kitambo. Mimi nikuja hapa 1984. Nilikuta watu wakichota hapa na kutumia kwa irrigation. Lakini sasa imekauka. Tuna la kufanya. Nimesikia kuna wajeshi, sijui kama ni wajeshi ama ni polisi. Kundi lao limetabaka kote kutafuta kuangalia shida ya maji. Ningewaomba wakuje Kamasharia location, hii Jiko village waone vile tuko.
President William Ruto says over 800,000 Kenyans have defaulted on payment in the Financial Inclusion Fund, popularly known as Hustler Fund. Speaking during the 50th anniversary celebrations of the Kenya Police Sacco in Nairobi, the president also said over 15 million Kenyans have borrowed from the fund. The president also announced the issuance of a credit score to borrowers of the Hustler Fund. Ruto stated that the review would commence by the end of February 2023.
We are going to launch a stadium built by a police sacco. That looked very interesting. But it's also understood that our police service has made immense contribution to athletics and sports in general in Kenya. And because you have identified and seen that this facility is necessary for you to grow the talent and the expertise and the sports and in many members of the Kenya Police Service, and you have already put in 89, I'm told, million shillings. And because you have also agreed, Bwana Matekwa, that this facility is not only going to be used by the police service, it is also going to serve the community in South Sea. Ndio mheshimiwa. Huyo mheshimiwa. So I want to commit that because you already want to use and share this facility with the community, the Ministry of Sports is going to provide another 150 million shillings to enhance this facility, to put the terraces. I want you, Bwana Matekwa, and the IG to have a consultation with our Ministry of Sports, ndio mkubaliane ile facilities ambazo zitasaidia hapa kusaidia vijana wa area hii na jeshi letu la polisi. I am sure we can add other facilities here that can enhance the use of this facility in line with what the request of the community have said. The contribution of the cooperative sector to Kenya's socio-economic development is undeniable and substantial. 69% of Kenyans directly and indirectly participate in SACCOs, and the cooperatives account for 32% of our GDP. Further, the SACCO approach has provided a sustainable model for government to formulate and implement special funds that have been successful and to improve policies and programs aimed at deepening financial inclusion, design more responsive credit products, and mobilize savings. I say that because of the success of the SACCO system in Kenya, that is why we came up with the Hustler Fund, because it operates on the same principles as the SACCO we are celebrating 50 years later today. There is no doubt, therefore, that the cooperative sector is an important player in the nation's socio-economic arena. But this occasion is not just about any SACCO. We are here as guests of a special organization in a special sector. The Kenya National Police SACCO is unique because it draws its membership from law enforcement officers throughout the country. By injecting the discipline of our uniformed services and private sector ethos into its entrepreneurial vision, the society has achieved impressive successes in delivering to its members. I am also happy that I have listened to the CEO, and this organization now has transcended the police service and has brought on board other members of society who wish to be members.
The Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, has launched a council of eminent personalities across its member states who have been recognized as peace champions and legends who have over the years fought for Africa recognition. Among those awarded with the honor to represent Kenya in the council include Catherine Dereva, a celebrated marathon runner in the world, John Say, the chair of the Kenya National Council of Elders, and Paul Tedgart, also a renowned marathon runner legend. The heroes and heroines have, however, declared their readiness and commitment to continue championing for peace within the continent and its borders for the interest of growth.
What a time it is for those of us who have served this country and this region in our respective areas, whether in sports or in diplomatic service or in academia or any other field. What an honor for us to harness all that we have gathered in these years the Almighty God has given to us to deliver and to give. Palipo na wazee habaribiki jambo. In other words, where elders are, nothing goes wrong. And the question has been, so many things have gone wrong in our region. And the question is being asked, you elders, where were you when these things happened? And so today I say, with the authority that has been given to us and the right to serve our country in that capacity, we are prepared to take our position and be given the ability to answer the question when tomorrow somebody comes and says, where were you?
An 85-year-old granny is said to have burned to death in Kikuyu, Kiambu County. According to her family, her house caught fire in what they suspect is a gas explosion. The area residents have called on county government to build a fire station to curb cases of fire incidents that have been occurring occasionally. Her body was taken to city mortuary as the probe into the source of the fire commences.
Kuisima mpaka saa tatu na nusu hivi, lakini kwa majaliwa ya Mwenyezi Mungu ilipoa. Na harakati hiyo yote tulikuta mzazi wetu akiwa kwa nyumba, ameaga akiwa ndani ya hiyo moto. Kwa hivyo tunaomba Kimani Wamatangi na wale mnafanya kazi na wao wote, tafadhali mjaribu kutupea dhima moto. Hii moto ilisababishwa, wale watoto walikuwa ndani, walisema ni waliakisa gasi ikalipuka. Kwa hivyo gasi ndio ilisababisha hiyo moto.
Kwa majina naitwa Michael Kamau, mwenye hapa ni kwa baba mdogo, na tulijaribu kuzima hiyo moto kwa njia yoyote, juu hata kijana yake alikuwa amejaribu sana, hata akabomoa pahali mama yake alikuwa amelala, lakini akazidikana juu hiyo stima. Kwanza moto wakati ilishika mpaka stima iliangukia mabati. Sasa mtu alikuwa anashika mabati inampiga. Tunaweza omba kaunti ya Kiambu, gavana wetu Wamatangi wajaribu kutengeneza mambo ya zimamoto. Juu kama kungekuwa na zimamoto karibu, hiyo moto ingezimika haraka na tujaribu kuokoa mama yetu. Wakati tulikuwa tunazima moto, tukapata tulikuwa tunajua mama yetu yako ndani. Lakini sasa vile tulikuwa tunajaribu.
And as tough economic times continue to ravage most parts of the country, gaming firm HollywoodBets has launched a foundation known as the Hollywood Foundation that seeks to help young and less fortunate children overcome the financial burden by supporting them in attaining a conducive education environment. The foundation earlier today saw children from the Heritage of Faith and Hope Children's Home Rehabilitation Center in Mlolongo, Machakos County benefit from the donation of 35 mattresses. Our reporter Dennis Otieno tells us more.
It is a humanitarian effort that knows no boundaries, at least according to the regional manager of gaming firm HollywoodBet, Collins Opanga. A foundation launched in November 2022 with the aim of helping young and less fortunate children overcome financial challenges hindering their education.
We want to touch lives, not only for children but also other sectors in the economy, because we want to grow a very nice society where everybody is free to do whatever they want to do, and just because of the good background that we'll be able to provide for them.
HollywoodBets put a smile on the faces of children from the Heritage of Faith and Hope Children's Rehabilitation Center by donating 35 mattresses in one of many series of assistance they intend to offer the institution.
This is just the start. We've started and we'll be able to continue coming in, day out with the small support we'll have, and we'll be able to grow this particular place and also grow ourselves together.
This is the second support program the gaming firm has conducted in the country, the first one being in December 2022 at the Riondonga High School in Kisii County, where they planted tree seedlings in a bid to grow organic food from the school.
During that particular time, we provided seedlings because we are encouraging these guys to start producing their own food crops so that the school cannot be able to spend money going out and buying these particular food items.
Opanga says the initiative is expansive and limitless since they are targeting to reach and support as many underprivileged children in the country as possible.
This is just the start and we have a lot more lined up. Yeah, it's going to be a very good journey, and I hope with God's grace we shall reach there.
Meanwhile, Heritage Children's Home founder Teresia Waweru, while expressing her gratitude to the gaming firm for their support, called on well-wishers to come on board and support the needy children in the country.
Thank God for Hollywood, because they have come in such a time when we need a shoulder to lean on. And it's so encouraging to see that they are good men of goodwill who have decided to come and give us a shoulder. And it's so motivating. We don't give because we have. We give because we have a heart. So I'm calling upon men and women on this land of Kenya to come up and support a child in Heritage of Faith, and it will make a future for them. It will make them consolation. It will make them a great person to assist other children in future.
David Gitau, who is one of the beneficiaries from the Heritage of Faith and Hope Children's Rehabilitation Center and an aspiring magic tricks entertainer, stated that co-curricular activities should also be focused on as a way of nurturing talent.
We heard the news about mattresses. We were so excited until the mattresses came, and yeah, we were happy, so excited, feeling that now we are going to new beddings. Yeah, so we are very excited. Assist us in things like sports. Yeah, basically sports. Much motivated. Now we have the confidence. Yeah, and we have